morning and welcome everyone. I'm Lakana Yapa from ZILLIONe Technologies, and today I will be your host. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to joining us for today's webinar. We will show you how to master Azure today. With Azure, we will go through topics like disaster recovery, networking, and cost control. The demonstration is the most important segment of today's schedule. I would like to welcome Kanchuka Viranga, our tech lead, to discuss. Please type your questions you have in the chat panel during the demonstration. We will address them during our Q&A session. Over to you, Kanchuka.
Hi, Lakana, thank you very much. I hope I'm loud and clear.
Yes, Kanchuka.
Okay, right, thank you. So let me share my screen just to show. So the idea for today's session is we are going to help you with some technologies that might help you to protect your environment and make sure your environment is available and you can recover your environment infrastructure on a disaster scenario. So we'll go through that, and then in the end we'll discuss about some Azure networking. So the agenda is, first of all, I'll be discussing about this very interesting and very affordable tool, which we call Azure Site Recovery, ASR. Then I'll be discussing about Azure Backup, and then I'll move on to backup in Azure. So there's a difference between Azure Backup and backing up your data in Azure Cloud. So we'll discuss both methods, how you can use Azure Backup if you want to back up your environment, and also if you want to back up your environment in Azure Cloud, how you can do that too. We'll discuss that too. And then we'll discuss a little about Azure Network. What are the options you have, the VPN, the virtual network, and there are so many things, the network security groups, firewall. So we'll be discussing about that, not only about the network, how you can securely move your environment, securely protect your data in the cloud with Azure Network. And then finally, we'll move to Azure Cost Management. So first of all, moving on to a disaster recovery, I specifically left out the word disaster because recovery in Azure can be used in multiple scenarios, not in a disaster. So you can recover your data anytime. So we'll discuss how it works. First of all, now when we talk about disaster recovery, the instant thing that we might get into our mind would be a natural disaster. It could be a flood or a earthquake or a hurricane. But the studies show otherwise. The main reason for disasters are operational failures. So these are the main reasons for disasters. So it could be a power failure, it could be a IT hardware failure, it could be a network failure, it could be a software failure even, which can cause a disaster scenario. So we have experienced these kind of scenarios mainly. We know that we rarely experience other kinds. So then you have also human caused event as well. It could be intentional, it could be unintentional. So you have these kind of scenarios as well. So the majority, more than 70%, it will fall under the operational function. So now, now this is a diagram where how you can use Azure Site Recovery. So Azure Site Recovery you can use for your VMware platform, your Hyper-V, your physical server, and even for your hosted service. Let's say if you have something hosted on SLV, or dialog, you can use Azure Site Recovery to those services as well. And even you can use Azure Site Recovery if you have an infrastructure on your AWS. You can use Azure as your recovery option. And also, you can, let's say if you already have Azure environment, you can use ASR to make sure that your data is available in a separate region or a separate data center. You can use ASR too. And recovery, now when you are actually setting up Azure site recovery, we can set up VMware, Hyper-V, and physical machines. But when you are recovering, when you are restoring something, we'll have to use Hyper-V if you are restoring it back to a on-premise server. But you also have the option to right away turn that server on your cloud and use it straight away. So you have that option as well. So in general, this is a very a convenient product. Now we discussed about disaster scenarios. So what are the other uses that you can have? So you can use Azure site recovery to create a high availability environment for your infrastructure. So you can use that for this particular purpose. And also you can use it if you are trying to migrate your environment to Azure. Then also you can use the Azure site recovery. So the main thing is, so I'll show you how it works. Let me share my whiteboard. Yeah, I hope the whiteboard is visible. So now you have your on-premise servers in your network. So you want to make sure you are ready for a disaster scenario, and that you want to have these servers backed up and available on your Azure cloud. So look at the cloud. So what you need here on the cloud is storage, because when you are backing these servers up, you need storage on this server on the cloud. So you need some storage here. And at the time, let's say something happens to your environment, and then you want to recover this servers and databases. It could be applications, anything. So what you can do is right away you can restore them to Azure virtual machines or Azure databases. So immediately you have this up and running, so you don't have a lot of downtime. Probably a few minutes to turn them on. You have that option. But let's say you don't want this. You don't want to restore them to your cloud. You have to restore it to a on-premise environment. So then there you will need a hypervisor. And then you can restore them to your Hyper-V. So only disadvantage is that when you are restoring, you will have to use a Hyper-V. And after that, if you want, you can convert it to a VMware environment as well, no problem. But at the recovery point, because it saves on this format, you have to recover it to a hypervisor. So that's how it generally works. So that's why I said this is a very convenient tool, and you can use it for multiple purposes, not only for disaster recovery. There are so many other applications as well. So moving back to my slide. So these are some features that are associated with your Azure site recovery. So Now you can see automated VM level replication. So you do have a automated VM level replication. So that means likelihood of a data loss is very less. So because it almost synchronizes it in real time, and also you don't have any impact on DR drill. So you can actually do a DR drill and test your environment with these. So and then you are prepared for planned and unplanned failovers. So you can easily orchestrate the recovery plan for disaster recovery. And failback support, you also do have failback support, and migrate. So you do have the feasibility. If you are not looking for disaster recovery option, if you are just trying to migrate to Azure, then you can use it too. So create on-demand test copies on Azure. So you can do that too. You can always create on-demand test copies of your infrastructure on Azure Cloud too. So what are the costs involved in here? So if we talk about the cost, at first the main cost that will be involved is for storage. So you have to pay for storage first of all, and then for your number of instances. So I'll just show you how much it will cost you in general. So I'll go to the site recovery. So now here, it wants to know where I want to store my data. So I'll probably select Southeast Asia because that's the easiest region for us. If you want, let's say if you are on Southeast Asia, and if you want to back up your data onto some other region, then of course you can do that too. For now here, I'll show you how you can use it for on-premise environment. So recover to Azure. So number of instances, how many virtual machines you have, how many servers you have. So I'll select 5 here. Comes up to $80. So if you want to back up 5 servers, so you can do it for $80. But again, you have to remember that you must add storage too. So I'll get a storage account, and then I'll say Southeast Asia, storage, standard, general purpose, hot tier. So now you can see it's 1 TB. It's only $20 per month. So if you go for reserved option, it will be so and then read write operations. So I mean this number is a big one. So if you type 100, that means billions of write operations. So probably not something you are likely to exceed. So it will only cost around $5. So now in total, if you look at that, to back up 1 TB of data on 5 servers, it will take around $100 for a month. So that's why I said ASR is a very affordable service, and it's something that you can easily set it up to make sure your infrastructure is available. You can easily recover from something. I'll just go back to my presentation. So then another technology that I want to talk about is Azure Backup. Azure Backup, again, I think I don't need to explain this a lot. You know what a backup service is. You might have used Symantec or Veeam Backup or any technology, even Windows Backup. So it's very similar. You install an agent, then you back up your data, and this is not a site recovery. This is simply you are taking a backup, and you can restore that backup to on-premise environment or a cloud environment as well. So what is the main difference? So obviously, site recovery, how long it will take to recover. Very low, almost within minutes, you can have your environment up and running on the cloud, no problem. Backup, but it will be higher. So because you have to restore from a backup and then make sure your server is available. So it will take some time if you are using backup. Again, as your site recovery, this is actually when you say RPO, it's a probability of how or what kind of a data loss. I mean, when you're backing up, there are intervals, right? So if you are using Azure Site Recovery, this probably is very not low. It's actually very low, probably around 30 seconds. The time it takes to synchronize, so you almost have a zero kind of a data loss in here. But if you are using Azure Backup, it will be much higher. It could be hours, even days, depending on your backup schedule. It could vary. So that's why we do recommend for you to use your Azure Site Recovery as your main backup option. And I also want to show up a few things. So now let's say you can you have different servers on your environment, right? It could be Active Directory environment, it could be SQL server. So how you can use alternative methods other than using the short techniques like Azure Site Recovery or Azure Backup. So for example, first of all, I'll take a domain controller. So you do have a domain controller on your on-premise, and you want to take a backup of this, and you don't have any other location. So you might have to pay for another data center and get this another additional domain controller. But you have a much simpler option, much cheaper option. So you have your firewall, and you have your Azure Cloud. So you can set up a VPN connection to this. So I'll will talk about this VPN connections later on. So first of all, and then you can create the network inside your cloud, and then you can install that additional domain controller. Cloud. So this is actually much easier than paying for a data center. You can have a very simple environment. So in case if this goes down, totally unrecoverable, and you can make this the primary domain controller and switch it back to another server, and then you have this main domain controller again in here. And also you can keep this as a primary domain controller, no problem. So there won't be any problem. So this you have it down, and then you can recover it. And one other technology I want to show you is SQL data sync. You have SQL server in here. So you have databases in here, and you want to make sure it's backed up. How we are going to do it? So you may have some databases in here. So then again, you have your firewall. And again, you have your cloud. Have your VPN connection again, set it up. And not necessarily, or you don't need a VPN for this setup, but we do recommend to have a VPN, especially for security. But still, it's not a must. You can simply install a solution called SQL Data Sync. So once you install that, you can you have to get the SQL instances on the cloud. Let's say 2 instances. databases you have. And you can install that synchronization solution here. And then you can synchronize this. And the best thing about this is actually this is a two-way sync, not a one-way sync. So let's say if one of you users are working from home these days, and if they want to access their database, they can access this from outside. So you don't have to worry about spending on VPNs. So that's the use of cloud. That's why we like the cloud. So even external users can access this. Secure I'll show you how you can secure an environment with access control while moving on. So these are the technologies that I wanted to show you. These are small examples. It could be your CRM, it could be your LMS, it could be your ERP, anything very easily you can host it on Azure. Let's say if you especially the SQL solutions on the cloud, it's much cheaper than any other cloud. So that's why you can use Azure for your other application servers as well. So and also you might have a concern of security. So when it comes to Azure Cloud, Microsoft Azure, with pretty much with very high confidence, I can say that compared to any other cloud, whether it be AWS, GCP, or any other cloud, Azure has the best security because Microsoft is the one of the most targeted organizations. So the only organization is more targeted than Microsoft is Pentagon. So Microsoft is on second on the list, so that's why they have a very high security. And also, if you want to know, like even the infrastructure of data infrastructure of Pentagon, they move to Azure from AWS. So moving back to our presentation. So we are almost the our halfway mark. So I think Shamishka and Rika, they have planned kind of a quiz for you, and I think there's a giveaway. So Shamishka, Rika.
Thank you, Kanchika, for your detailed presentation on Azure. So let's put Azure to the test now that you have learned about it. We have fun quiz for you to take, and the winner will receive an exciting gift from Jabra.
The quiz link is there in the Q&A section. I would like everybody to click that link, type your name and company, and then fill the quiz. We will give you about 2 minutes to fill the quiz. Those questions are from the Azure section, so it should be that difficult for you all. It should be very familiar with you all, I assume. So if you have any questions regarding joining, please type it in the Q&A section as well. I hope you all can weave the link and let's start. For you all to complete. So I will be closing the quiz entries from now on, and let me see who has won the Jabra Speak 510 device from the quiz. So we have the winner today. Winner is Indika Udaya Kumara. He has gotten 80 points and he has been the first to answer, first to get the highest number of points. And congratulations, Indika. You have done good. And also So over to you, Lakana.
Shamishka, thank you so much. So let's move to Q&A.
Hi, Lakana. Yeah, so Lakana, we have one more component to finish up. So yeah, let me move back to my presentation.
Sure, Kanshuka. Please go.
Yeah, so I want to discuss about Azure networking and what you can do and how you can do and how you can protect your environment while you are on the cloud. So now we know that main purpose sometimes these days the people want to cloud is especially they don't have people working at the office sometimes, and they want to make sure that users can access the applications, systems faster, easily from anywhere. So that's the one purpose that people might want to move to the cloud. And the second reason is now on-premise hardware, there's a lot of maintenance. There's a cost involved. You have to pay for your server rooms, and you have to keep them upgraded, up to date. So that's again another burden. There's a cost involved in that. So that's one other reason you might want to move to the cloud. So for example, I'll take a ERP environment as an example. So you may already have a ERP environment, and you may have it on your on-premise network. So on your on-premise network, you have your ERP environment. You do have a security environment, and you also have a SQL for the database for this particular ERP. Now, you have a firewall. Yeah, so connected this way, and now if your users they are at the premises, or if they are on the local network, so it seems okay. But what happens if they are trying to access this from outside the organization? Then you'll have to provision a VPN here. And then the end users, they will have to connect to this VPN and they can access the data. So again, you have the bandwidth, and users will have to come through different layers to access this information. But what if you have this ERP environment in your cloud? So we are not having SQL, only ERP. Let me share my whiteboard again, so I can give you an idea, better idea. So you do have the Active Directory on this premise, so you might need one for authentication. So now you have the Azure Cloud here, and you have your ERP environment on the cloud as well as your SQL. It could be a managed instance, it could be a single database, it could be a elastic pool. So it could be anything. So you have various options. You have this scalability. That's why you might want to move the cloud. So now you have these two in the cloud, and but still you want to connect this with your on-premise environment, and you do not want to have anyone accessing this from outside without any security challenge. So that's a problem, and clearly I know that sometimes you might think when you're moving to the cloud, you might need a firewall. But especially now, this is not a very large environment you have. Okay, I understand if you have 50, 60, 100 servers on your Azure cloud, you might want to have a separate firewall in here as well. But you can simply use what we call a network security group. If you simply have a couple of environments in here. So with the VPN, you can make sure now you have a side-to-side VPN here. Now you can say, okay, if users are only coming through this particular VPN, they can access. So then again, you might think, okay, then they have to connect back to this on-premise VPN. So what's the point? There's actually another method. Or with the one side-to-side VPN, you get 128. I'll write this number down. 128.2 site VPN. Point to site. So you can use this 128 ones. If you have individual users using their computers, you can simply install this and a certificate onto this VPN, and then these users can directly connect to this the VPN itself, not directly. So you have the security, you are not exposed. So you have E2S, it's called point-to-site VPN. And again, your environment is connected to on-premise network with the site-to-site VPN. So again, that's very much secure. And also, you do have a what we call network security group protecting this one. So we'll call it MSG. With this, you can actually control the inbound, the outbound traffic. And also, you can control this now. Let's say you have a IP range here. Let's say 122.155.20. And you can simply say, if you're coming through this IP, then you can access this. And also, if you're coming through these VPNs, okay, you can access this. Anything is denied. So that means no one else can access. If someone is trying to come and access this without getting connected to point-to-site VPN, or unless they are working from the office, they can't simply access this data from the outside. So this is one advantage of having your infrastructure on your cloud. This is how you can move your things to cloud and make sure that then again, I have to discuss the virtual LAN inside the Azure cloud. So you do have a LAN network in here. So going forward, if you want to expand your infrastructure, you can easily add any other. You want to add an additional domain controller on the cloud, so you can do that too. You can easily expand. You can easily scale this out. That's the convenience of Azure cloud that you have. So finally, I move on to cost management. So now you do have these all the environment. Let's say you have expanded a lot, and you want to make sure you manage your cost right. Sometimes there can be times where you might want to. Now you're on the cloud, you have a very large infrastructure, and you do have the VPN set up to your firewall, and you have users logging in, and you have ERP, have SQL, you have Active Directory, additional Active Directory environment, and you may have a few other servers on the top. So let's see the ADC, App Server 1, App Server 2. So now you can implement cost management, and every month it will analyze and tell you where you can save cost, what devices can be run on a schedule. So, for example, let's say you don't want your users accessing your ERP or SQL, domain controller, or anything from your office. You can simply turn off the VPN after 6 p.m. So you can actually run a schedule. You can create a schedule, so it will automatically do that every day. So you can manage your cost, and you can make sure you do not go over the budget. And you can also reduce the cost with that. And also, now let's say your ADC, you want to make sure that this will only run during the work hours, and you don't need any synchronization after hours. So you can simply run a schedule, turn it off at the end of the day, and make sure you turn it on in the morning. So you can run automatic schedule to do that. So you can do that for all the other servers. Let's say if you don't need ERP after 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can run a schedule where every day at 6 p.m. It will turn down the shut down these few servers, and it will make sure that it turns them on right at 7 a.m. So that's how Azure Cost Management can help you out, and also you can get schedules involved as well. So you can simply run them and make sure you do not pay for any additional thing. So that's the entire idea: scalability, economic, and reliability and security of the Azure cloud. So I think that's pretty much from my side. I want to hand back to Lankana to finish it up.
Thank you, Kanchika. So let's move to question and answer session.
Yes, so everyone, you can use the Q&A forum. If you have any question, please type it down so then I can pick it up and also answer your question. We do have another, I think, around 7 minutes.
Seems like we have one question at the moment.
Yes, actually, you can definitely select your region while you are picking up servers or any services. You can definitely manually select the region. There's no issue with that. Any region you can select, but make sure that you select the best region for better connectivity for you.
Yeah, seems like there's no more questions. So I think we are good to wind up the session. So I hope everyone is clear about what we have demonstrated today. So let me invite Rikab to conclude today's workshops. Over to you, Rikab.
Yeah, good morning. So we have come to the final few minutes of the session. So mastering cloud computing with Microsoft Azure is a very important component. On this webinar, we wanted to highlight how backups, site recovery, and disaster recovery can help you, and also to take you through a quick glimpse of the essence of Microsoft Azure cloud computing. So I hope that you all got the best out of the 1 hour session. Thank you very much for participating for this 1 hour session conducted by ZILLIONe Technologies. And we hope that you gain the knowledge to enhance the productivity and security in your organization. So you are a wonderful audience, and we have a set of webinars that we have planned. The next session is going to be on security and compliance, and especially on M365. So we will be very glad to see you all in the session again. So till we meet you in a similar webinar from ZILLIONe team, thank you very much for being a part of this session, and hope you gained the knowledge, and congratulating to the winners as well. Hereby I conclude the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rikab, and everyone else for attending the Azure webinar. Keep an eye out of the existing workshop from ZILLIONe. Have a wonderful day until then. Stay safe. Bye-bye.